around one day, meeting with a friend of ours that's a director, and Todd was like, "It would be dope." After the New Edition movie came out, Todd was like, "It would be dope if you guys had a movie about Escape." And our friend said they're already doing a movie about Escape. We was like, "Who's doing a movie about Escape?" He was like, he told us the network. He's like, I believe they're really doing it. And I was like, huh? So I had my agent to reach out, and sure enough, that network was doing it, but we didn't know who was involved yet. So I called, Tiny. I told her, like, yo, like, somebody's doing a movie about us. And at the same time, I guess one of my other group members had caught wind of it. So she's calling. And at the time, all of us weren't talking. We all weren't even really speaking. But, our legacy is in jeopardy at that moment because you feel like, well, how is somebody just going to take my life and make a movie about me without my permission? And I called my attorney, and he's like, yeah, they can do that because you're a public figure. Anybody can make a movie about you. And I'm like, what? Wow. So yeah, so we ended up all getting on the same page because I just can't go that I can't go out like that.
Yeah, I know Kandi don't go.
Hi guys, thanks for joining my YouTube channel. Well, today's video is going to be about Kandi Burruss exposing Carlos King for stealing footage and information to try to go behind her back and make a movie about her life story. Her and the other girls of Escape. Carlos King was trying to produce their life story without even getting permission from any of the girls, which he didn't need permission, but she felt like her and Carlos was close. They had a rapport, and that, he went behind her back and, tried to be slick about it. They also was friendly with her mom, Mama Joyce, and they were calling her to get background information on Escape, acting as if they wanted to put a movie or a show together about girl groups, and they never specifically said it was pertaining to Escape specifically. So, they were fraudulent in doing that because they knew Mama Joyce, and they would call her up and ask her questions, on the sneak tip. And also, it's being said that while doing the confessionals, while Carlos King was filming Real Housewives of Atlanta at the time, and during confessionals with Mama Joyce, he would ask, specific questions to help him out in producing the Escape story. But then, Kandi got wind of it. She started hearing little things, and then she thought about doing the Escape movie herself and was told that somebody was already doing it. And, her lawyer did say that that's possible, that the people don't have to ask you for permission when you're a public figure. And so she said after digging and researching and finding out information, she learned that I don't know if Carlos's company was called Kingdom Reign at the time, but she learned that it was Carlos King, and he had shopped it to TV1 to produce the show for their network. So I called up Carlos King several times to reach out to him to get to the bottom of it, to find out everything, because I wasn't really sure that it was him. But, I was being told that it was his production company, and he never returned my calls. All of the times that I called him, he never called me back. I started reaching out to the television stations to have the whole thing shut down. And I was doing all the legwork with that, with my lawyers and my managers. And then finally, he decided to return my phone call. By that point, there was nothing else to talk about. I didn't want to talk to him anymore because I couldn't believe what he had done, how he had gone behind my back. After all the years that I had worked with him, he never once mentioned that, he was planning on doing a story about escape and our life story. So I said after that, no, I'm not dealing with him anymore. And so, we did the work that we needed to do to get the whole thing shut down. But he was definitely going behind my back, had his producers talking to my mother, asking my mother questions, asking my mom questions, and trying to get footage and information, the backstory on escape, without ever mentioning anything to any one of us. I felt so betrayed by him, and I could not believe the route he had taken, how he had betrayed me and was going to try to do my life story without my permission, even though, I was told that when you're a public figure, they don't have to get your permission. But you figure if you know somebody the way I knew him, that the least they would do is, talk it over with you, try to discuss it, try to make you a part of it or something. But he did none of the sort. He was just going to go behind my back, and if it had gone through before I got wind of it, there would be nothing that I could have done about it. But thank God that we found out. She said, when we found out, other than that, we would not have been able to stop them from producing our life story. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.
People think that you and Carlos King have a beef, including me, because then you went on to the speak on it and somebody asked you about Carlos and you were like, we're not cool.
He is the one who stole my group's life story and sold it to TV1. And for that, I just can't get past it. I was talking to a friend. I was like, hey, we should do like a movie about, our
Escape.
group's life or whatever. It was a director that Todd and I were speaking, and they was like, somebody's already doing it. And I was like, what you mean somebody's doing it? And so in my mind, I'm thinking it was one of my group members or something. And they was like, yeah, it's a network that's already like, because I took a meeting about directing it. And I was like, what? Oh, and sidebar, his other producing partner, one of the producers that worked for him, had called my mom, was like, oh yeah, we want to do a interview you because we're trying to do a documentary about girl groups or something. So we want to ask you questions about, escape. My mom was going to do it or whatever, but come to find out, he was the person who had did the deal with TV1 to sell our life story, and it was going to try to ask my mother questions about us unknowingly to get more information, I guess, for the show. So anyway, I just thought that was the lowest thing that anybody could ever do. When you're a public figure, they can do unauthorized stories about you. Never once, all them years we have been around each other, he had never once told me that he was trying to do a movie about us, and to be able and to go behind my back and to do that, and that's our life story.
Right.
I was like, I can't fuck with him ever again.